Welcome to the Handstand Progression Series. These videos are designed to help you work towards a solid and comfortable handstand. Each episode covers a different stage in your handstand journey, starting from your first time upside down to advanced techniques. If you're new to handstands, you've come to the right place. This novice video will cover all the basic components for safely going on your hands. We'll go over the following topics: building strength, basic alignment, and kicking up. Before we get into our practice, let's go over a quick warm-up for our wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Start in a push-up position, keeping your fingers pointing forward. Make a short twist by externally rotating the arms. Your elbow pits should be facing forward at the end of each rotation. Perform this for 10 reps. Next, go into downward facing dog. Keep the back flat and focus on gently opening the shoulders. Use this as a moment to move around and discover any tight spots you may have in your body. Return back to push-up position. Now we'll make some wrist circles. Keep tension throughout your body as you move it in small circles over your wrists. Do 8 in one direction, pause, then 8 in the other direction. Finish off with a second downward dog. Take this opportunity to deepen your position from before, focusing on actively stretching out any tight spots. Strength is the most important factor when first learning a handstand. We need to be able to physically hold the position of being upside down to afford ourselves the time to improve our balance and technique. Because there are so many variables to work on, we must rely on strength to compensate for our initial imperfections. There are 3 exercises for developing strength. The first exercise is an assisted pike hold. If you're a bit nervous about going upside down, this is a safe way to experience that orientation. Find a box or elevated surface around thigh level. Set your hands on the floor first before setting your feet on the box. Fold at the hips and push your torso back to create a piked position. Your head should be between the shoulders and your hips stacked over your shoulders. Perform this hold for 3 sets of 10 seconds with 1 minute rest in between. The second exercise is the chest-to-wall walk. Start on the floor with your head facing away from the wall. Set your hands on the floor shoulder-width apart with fingers facing forward. Walk your feet up the wall until your legs are straight. Then start walking your hands towards the wall. Get as close to the wall as you are comfortable, and then walk back out to finish in the position you started. The main focus for this exercise is to maintain scapular elevation during the entire movement. This means actively pushing the ground away while you walk your hands towards and away from the wall. The last exercise is the chest-to-wall hold. This is an extension of the previous drill and lets you spend some quality time fully upside down. Perform the chest-to-wall walk until you are as close to the wall as you are comfortable. Hold the position for 10 seconds, and then complete the walkout to starting position. Perform the chest-to-wall walk with hold for 3 sets with 90-second rests in between. Head positioning should be the initial focus of alignment in this stage. Since we are using the wall for supporting our legs, we can direct our attention to establishing the best possible base. When we set up for a handstand, we need to keep our head aligned with our shoulders. This is called a neutral head position and is done by keeping the ears positioned between the deltoids. Your gaze should be kept between the thumbs with minimal head tilt. A common mistake is positioning your head in front of your shoulders. This is an instinctive habit when learning handstands, as it's done to preserve the semblance of a forward orientation rather than an inverted one. However, positioning the head in front of the shoulders can be dangerous, as it tends to load our weight into the front of our shoulders and causes us to collapse forward. Kicking up into a handstand is that moment where you feel like you're giving up control. The moment your feet leave the ground, suddenly so many variables come into play. We'll break the kick up into 2 exercises, allowing you to focus on a few things at a time. The first exercise is kicking up to the wall. Start on the floor with your head facing the wall, with your hands set about a foot away from the wall. Hands are shoulder width apart with fingers facing forward. Set up for the kick by positioning your head between your shoulders and elevating your scapula. When you kick, lead with the hips. Focus mainly on floating your hips into position above the shoulders. The legs will follow on their own, and you'll notice that you won't really have to kick very hard. Once both feet contact the wall, hold the position for 10 seconds. Gently kick one leg back down and land in your starting position. Repeat this for 3 sets with 1 minute rest in between. The second exercise are walking kick-ups. These may feel a little intimidating at first, but don't worry, we're not going full commitment. Find a bit of open space on a soft but not heavily matted floor. Set up for the handstand by extending your arms toward the floor slightly in front of you. Keep the arms straight and let your scapula elevate as you take a small step. Set the hands and gently kick up with 1 leg. Let the kicking leg float up towards a straight line, while the second leg lags behind at a 90-degree angle. Allow the weight of the second leg to bring it back down to the floor. The kicking leg then follows and lands after. Stand up, take a step forward, and repeat. Do this for 4 repetitions, rest 1 minute, then repeat with the other leg. For this exercise, focus on establishing a rhythm. Your aim here is not to kick up into a perfect handstand, but rather to develop your timing and coordination for the kick up by getting in the repetitions. That's it for this first episode. I'm happy you made the decision to learn the handstand and are starting the journey towards this rewarding skill. Thank you for taking the time to absorb this content, and until next time, move better, climb harder.